These are the steps you go through to ground balance the Discovery 3300. I'll show you the button pushes here, and then I'll step out and show you an actual ground balance. To ground balance the unit, maybe just start with a preset. The unit's powered on, and all you need to do is push the pinpoint mode, and this is just kind of showing you how to do it. You do this at waist level, then you lower the coil to the ground. And if it beeps, what you have to do is you have to increase the ground balance, push pinpoint again at waist level, lower it back to the ground until basically you can get it to ½ inch within the ground, and you don't get any more noise with it. So it's pretty close. But with the manual ground balance, you can you can kind of set it where you want to. If you want to run it a little bit hotter, or however you want to do it, you just use your ground balance knob, and as you turn it up, as soon as you turn it, it's going to start screaming at you when you turn it up. So what you want to do is turn it up, pinpoint, check it again, bring it back up, turn it up, pinpoint, check it again. And I'll step out in front of the camera here and give you a little bit closer view, or I guess an overall view of what it looks like while you're doing it. So here's what it looks like when you're doing the ground balance. You turn the unit on, make sure in all metal mode, which it defaults to all metal when you turn it on. You want to scan the ground, find a clean spot. Once you find a place that's clean, you bring the unit up waist level, push pinpoint, bring it down to the ground. If it hums while you bring it down, you need to turn your ground balance level clockwise. Every time you turn the level clockwise, it'll start beeping at you. So once you do that, you push pinpoint again, bring it back down, still not silent. It's pretty close. I'd probably run it right there. If you do get the ground balance so it's silent all the way to the bottom, like this, we got it probably a little bit too much. You turn the ground balance knob back off counterclockwise, push pinpoint, so you get it right where you want to. It sounds pretty good right there. So switch back to your search mode, and you're good to search. You can run ground balance and preset, but you definitely lose some depth. You may miss some targets, and I'll kind of show you that here with a hole I've dug, and I've got a mercury dime in the bottom of it. So I'll bring the camera over here, and we'll take a look what that looks like. Over here I've got a mercury dime. It's approximately between 7 to 8 inches in the ground. It's as deep as a little bit deeper in the less digger. And I'm going to show you what can happen if you're running preset ground balance. What the difference is between that and doing a manual ground balance on the Discovery. So here we go. I'm gonna power the unit on. So we'll turn it on. And right now we're going to turn the ground balance down to preset, and you can run it like this, okay, but as you'll see, you definitely lose a little bit when you do that. So at the bottom of the hole we've got a silver mercury dime, and as you can see, when you use preset ground balance, it's totally missing this dime. You're never going to see that. So that's definitely not something that you want to happen. So that's one of the reasons why you definitely want to do a manual ground balance on the machine. So I'm going to ground balance it over here off camera real quick. Okay, I've got the machine ground balanced now. We're going to go back over the dime again, and as you can see, we get a really good tone with it right now, and that's pretty deep. I mean, like I said, that's probably close to 8 inches deep. It's a little bit deeper than my digger. One thing that I will note about the Discovery 3300 is that when you have deep targets, the visual ID sometimes is not correct, but your tone is almost always going to be good. So it's indicating a good silver tone there. It's not jumping. Whenever I scan it, the display is staying the same. Tone sounds good, so I would definitely dig that. But like I said, when things get deep, the visual ID definitely doesn't seem to be accurate on it. So it's just something to know. But that sometimes is a problem because, you know, if you have a really deep, large piece of iron, you're going to get a 199 reading on it too. But normally it will jump a little bit. You know, like if you swing at different angles, it's going to bounce around a little bit. But it's just one oddity about the 3300. So. I'll show you a couple trick I learned about pinpointing with the Discovery. There's my old mutt named Buddy. He's over here checking out, seeing what I'm doing. But what you normally do to pinpoint is, of course, you just hit the pinpoint button, right here. You want to pinpoint it, away from the target. So I'll step aside here and kind of show you how to normally pinpoint. So I'll bring the detector over here. I'm going to hit pinpoint mode. And as you can hear, as you get over the target, the audio gets louder. You can cross it. That's going to be the center. But one trick I'll show you here, which I've never seen anybody else mention, and I'm not sure if this is an oddity with the detector, or if this is an actual feature that they've put in it. But what you can do is when you're pinpointing, when you get over the target, if you hit the pinpoint button again, it'll gradually reduce the sensitivity. And as you can see, right now, I mean, it's dead over the top of that. And what you're doing is you pinpoint something. You can keep reducing that sensitivity by continually hitting the pinpoint button as you're searching for an item. So right now I've got it locked right on top of there to pinpoint that. And if you get it knocked down too much, just take it back off the side, hit pinpoint again, and it's going to take it back to full sensitivity on that target. So like right now, I'll bring it over here to the side a little bit, pinpoint, pinpoint again. And as you can see, if you can pinpoint it so it's all the way out. So like right now, I hit it right over the top of the coin. It took the sensitivity down so much that it's hitting it, but you have to have it way down on there. So that's one thing I've learned about pinpoint. And using that trick, I mean, you can pinpoint something down to, I mean, you're 100% positive where it's at because it's in the center of that circle when you pinpoint it in that way. Like I said, I've never seen anybody else mention that, but it's definitely something that is very useful on the detector. Something else I'd like to show you. We still have the mercury dime at the bottom of the hole. I've got a steel bottle cap here I'm going to throw in the hole with it. We'll swing over the dime real quick, see what it sounds like. We've got a good tone on it. All metal mode hits it good. Discrimination catches it good. So I'm going to throw this bottle cap down the bottom there with the dime. And I'm in discrimination mode. I'm discriminating out iron 1 through 3, but as you can see, the Discovery hits off the dime. It acts like it doesn't even see the bottle cap. I'm going to switch it to all metal mode. Right now I'm in all metal. Same thing. So we've got two targets are on top of each other. One of them is a good dime, and the other one is a bottle cap. And the Discovery, I don't really know if you want to call it target separation, but it definitely sees the dime and is ignoring the bottle cap. So, I mean, I've dug things like this before too. Had two things in a hole, and hit on a quarter and start digging and find bottle cap or something else in the same hole. A lot of times it'll change your digital readout, and if you look at this, it's kind of hard to see from over here probably, but if you remember, this coin rang up as a 199, and if I swipe it, it's probably going to be hard to get this in the video here, but you can kind of see the display bounce around a little bit. I mean, so the detector knows that the cap's in there, but it's still giving the high tone for the dime, so that's just something I'd like to show you. I'm going to show you a little bit on recovery time on the Discovery 3300. This is one of the things that I'm a little bit disappointed with the detector. The recovery time on it definitely isn't going to be no contest winner. it's a little bit slow, and I'm not sure if that's because of the coil it has on it. I've got a Fisher coil that's going to be here sometime soon. I'll probably come back and double check this again afterwards, but you know, if you're trying to really get good target separation, you need to swing it slow. Here's what it looks like. We've got an old shotgun shell here, a beaver pull tab, a mercury dime, a silver quarter, and a war nickel. So we'll go over them here. As you can see, it's already starting to miss targets. So you gotta swing it pretty slow if you want to be accurate with it. It's about as slow as you can, about as fast as you can go, and still tell between all the targets. And this is an all metal mode. I'll try it in discrimination mode. Probably not going to make any difference. Nope, nothing at all. Just keep hitting the bottle or the pull tab there. Nope, still missing stuff. Take so as you can see, the recovery speed definitely leaves a little bit to be desired, and like I said, I'm not sure if it's the coil that causes it, because I do know on this coil that it will detect on both the outer ring and the inner ring. So I think what happens is you get targets close together. I think it's starting to see the next target, you know, on the outer ring on both sides. Like if you look at these two targets, it's gonna come across the outer ring on both sides of it. You know, same here. And to kind of show you that, as I go over, say, this pull tab here, it catches on the outside, catches on the inside. See, it'll ring over it. It'll ring over each part of the coil it goes over. So I wonder if that's not you know, part of the recovery issues with the detector is the coil. So once I get the new coil for it, I'm definitely going to check it out again and see if that improves. I've got something else I'd like to show you, and it's related to the ground balance. One thing that I've found, you know, after using a detector for a while, is that for some odd reason, and maybe somebody out there that knows a little bit more about detectors can explain this to me. But when you ground balance a machine, like right now, a manual ground balance for the ground here, and like I said, I found that dime, or you can see it down there at about 8 inches. One thing I will tell you, and like I said, I don't know why, but if you crank the ground balance all the way up to all the way to the right, you get a little bit more depth out of the machine. The other thing I notice is it will somewhat ignore iron targets too. So I'm not sure if that's just a function of ground balancing in general, or if that's just something a little bit different with the Discovery. But you do get better depth on good targets. So coins and things like that. If you crank your ground balance all the way clockwise, you're gonna get a little bit more depth out of it. The target ID is not quite as accurate at doing that. But if I hit a signal, if I'm manual ground balance, say right here, I hit a real faint signal, I can, I just barely hear it every once in a while. Normally if I'll crank the ground balance over temporarily, swing back over that target, it'll come in a little bit clearer. The ID may be wrong, but you definitely know that there's something down there when you do that way.